My night started quite innocently. I came out to work, I got a call after about half an hour. When I dropped that off, I got another call immediately. And the guy went out to the general hospital. The fare was $23, but he gave me $40 for taking him out there. Why, I don't know. Maybe he could see into the future. And I'll explain to you how that happened. Well, as soon as I was leaving the hospital, I was being sent to the other side of the hospital. Rather than the main entrance now, I was being sent to the emergency. I got to the emergency, and I was being sent there for Jennifer. But there was this big man standing there. This big man with a white ponytail and a big belly. He was 6 foot something and just a big man. And he says, are you looking for me? I said, well, I was looking for Jennifer. And he said, well, yeah, she called for me. All right. And he said, I'm going to some address that was really quite far out of town. The hospitals are already out of town. It's, but further out of town. Much further out of town. Took us almost, a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get out there. When we finally got to the place, he said, it's up this driveway here, and it went up this hill to this house up on the hill. And he said, I'm going to go in the back, and she'll come out to pay you. Well, 15 minutes went by, and nobody came out to pay me. So I went around the house and found a window, and I knocked on the window. I could see there was somebody sitting in a reclining chair watching TV. So I knocked. It was like a French door kind of affair. Knocked on the French doors, and she went to the other side of the house. I saw her going to the other side of the house, so I went to the other side in the front, and I said, yeah, I haven't been paid. And she says, he went that way. He's in that other house, that little house back there. He's in the back. Okay. So I went out there. I knocked on the door. No answer. There was another door. I knocked on that door. No answer. No answers at all. So then I was coming back, and she says, well, didn't you get him? Didn't you? And I said, nobody answered the door. Did you knock on the door? I said, yes, I knocked on both doors and got no answer. And she said, well, I have nothing to do with this. And she gave me a card from the police phone number for out there, because it's RCMP. That's not municipal police, because it's out in the sticks. So I called the RCMP. Do I want to go there? I'm pointed the wrong way. Yeah, okay, I'll go there, but it's going to take me a while because I got to turn around, and I'm on a one-way highway that goes in the other direction right now. All right. So I had the phone number, I had the address. And I tried to call using my cell phone, and the cell phone went boop, 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 instead of connecting me with the number. I tried calling our office. Boop, boop, boop was what I got. So I didn't know if I was out of range or what, but my phone was showing 5 bars, and that means that I have a strong signal. But so I went to the store, which wasn't too far away from there. And I called the police from the store, and I was put on hold. I wasn't calling 911, I was just calling the police to help me. I was still on hold, and then the guy who runs the store said, I have to close the store now. I need my phone back. I said, really? The cell phone network is not working. He said, well, I need my phone back, and I gotta go. All right. So I got back to the car. I tried phoning again. Got through to our office. And he says, are you still out there? I said, yeah, I'm still out here. I didn't get paid. And I was not able to get through until now on the phone. He says, yeah, some of the cell phone networks are down tonight. So it's hard to reach them. He said, I can't talk to many of the cars. I can't call them because their cell phones aren't working. I said, well, mine isn't either. It's going boop, boop, boop when I call. So anyway, finally, I get through to the police. And I explained to them what's happening, that I took a customer to that address out there, and I didn't get paid, and now I'm calling to get some help. So I was on the line with the operator, and after just a few minutes, I think it was maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes, there were 6 cop cars that went by with their sirens going and their lights flashing, and they were making all kinds of noise heading in the direction of that house where I dropped that guy off. They even asked me if I was still on the scene, and I said, well, no, unfortunately I'm not, because my phone wasn't working there, and so I left. And I'm at the general store. So these cops went by, and then I got cut off. As soon as the cops went by, my phone, I was hung up on or got cut off. The phone made a boop boop sound, and then it went out. So I waited for about 20 minutes for them to call me back, which they didn't do. Then I saw a police car going from our address. And then I saw another one going back in the opposite direction. Maybe it was the same one, this time with his sirens going and his lights flashing again. Crazy. So I called the police again to find out what was going on. I told him my name again, and I told him what happened. And he says, well, let me talk to the dispatcher and find out. And he got back, I'll be right back, he says. So he got back to me moments later saying, apparently there's a lot going on at that address right now. We'll have a police officer call you later to catch up with you about it. Okay. I still don't have my money. It was $40.90. But I have had a couple fares since then. And the people that I have driven have been quite generous with the tips, just because of this shit when I tell them the story that I went through. So I'll be awaiting the call, the police, to tell me what's going on and if I'm going to get my money or not. I'm going to press a transport by fraud charge if they get back to me, because this is bullshit. Yeah, I had a great weekend. I was out of town, and now I come back to work and all this shit hits the fan. I'll let you know how the rest of the night went later on. It's only 10:43 p.m. now. The time is now 4:17 a.m. I think this is the last thing that I'm going to do on this shift. Despite that terrible thing that happened earlier where the guy didn't pay, I still have $270 on for my Sunday night. $270 is okay. Part of my success for the night is because I told the story of how I got stiffed. Yeah. One guy owed me $23. He gave me owed me $12 and gave me $20. And other people were generous too, so I made up in tips what I lost in that fare. And the police have not called me back about it yet, but when I did talk to them, there was a lot going on apparently at that house. Well, it's apparently freezing, but I'm gonna wash the car. I'm gonna give it gonna go to the car wash that's out near the airport here and give it a good wash. They left me a dirty car. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Imagine everything conspiring against you to make it a really slow night. Here's what happened. I came out and I got one of my regular customers right away. And she showed up at the curb just when I got there. And then she said, "Oh, I forgot to do something. I'll be right back." So I waited for about 5 minutes in the parking lot for her, which wasn't really that bad. And then I took her home. Great. It was a $19 fare. She gave me $21. Great. Good start. I think I waited about an hour for my next call. And that one was a good one. It was in the 30s. I got $40 for doing that one. Then I had another call a little while after that for $5 and something. The guy, we put $5 on the machine and he gave me a tip and it was declined. So then we did the whole thing again, $5 in the tip, $5 and no tip this time. He gave me 3 loonies for a tip, $3. Great. $5 fare, he didn't go very far. What happened after that? I have to see. Oh yeah, I had another one, a $15 fare. That one worked out okay. I was sent to Walmart to pick these people up, and they complained that they had been waiting for 20 minutes because the cab was sent to the wrong Walmart initially, instead of the one that I was sitting a block away from for the previous 20 minutes, while they were waiting for their cab at the Walmart. Then there was a gap of 4 hours, during which I watched a lot of YouTube, and there were no calls. I didn't get any calls in 4 whole hours. Nothing. Then I had another call after 4 whole hours. It was taking the pet shop, the girl who works in the pet shop, home. She had to be there because there was a guy refinishing the floor or something like that. Okay. And that was a decent fare. It went across town, so I got $19 for that one. Then within the next couple hours, I had 2 no loads on the gorge. 2 no loads. And 1 no load at Denny's. Then I got sent to the gorge again, and I thought, oh, here we go again. It was the girl who works at Tim Hortons. I know her well. I've taken her many, many times. As soon as I dropped her off, I got sent to get the girl who works in the pharmacy downtown. Take her to work. And then I went back to my spot and waited. And I got this guy who went for $15 fare. Anyways, after adding everything up, I have $24 in cash and $111 in Interac. So that's a grand total of $135. The night is just about over. The time is 5:25. A very short time after I recorded that last segment, I was kind of disgusted with the night, and I was heading towards the car wash. And you know how things work sometimes, that they just work out anyway? Well, what happened here was I'm backing out, so the thing is beeping. It's the reverse gear beep. There, it's gone. I got my seatbelt on. It's not going to beep anymore. But anyway, you know how things work out sometimes where you think that's the end? I was heading towards a car wash, and I got a call on my phone, and it was a hooker who took me for an hour and 10 minutes. Used my services for an hour and 10 minutes. And it gave me another $64, so I ended up with $199 or $198, something in that vicinity, which is just great, which is what I needed. Now I'm gonna have to, the time is 6:47. It's almost an hour after the end of my shift, and I hope the camera doesn't flop down again, because I'm in a, oh, this is bad traffic coming up. Thank you. Let me out of here. Okay, I'm out. Now I have to find a car wash. It started to rain, and the car's probably dirty, and I'm passing it on to the owner, and the owner, I think it's only fair to give the owner a clean car, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wash it, clean it. Anyway, I have trouble seeing with this light shining in my face in the rain, so I'm gonna shut her down now. Just thought I'd put a little addendum to what was going on. The time is now 5:16 a.m. It is the Wednesday morning. It is the end of the Tuesday night. I am exhausted, tired. I spent all night watching videos and sleeping and waking up to pick up people and take them places. Just when I want to sleep, I get awakened and have to pick up somebody and take them somewhere. I got about $260 on, which is not bad considering that a lot of them were short fares. I've got, what, 45 minutes to go. I'm just going to drop by the bank, drop some money off, make a deposit. And after I've made that deposit, well, then I'll go sit in my spot and maybe watch another video. Yeah. I really am tired. It's this rain. This rain makes me exhausted. Rain. It's just raining. Ugh. I am knackered and bagged from this rain that's making me tired. At least the last customer came to a place that was not far from the bank. So there was not much of a chance of me getting another call before dropping off, well, making a deposit. Oh yeah. Make another deposit. This night was not very good. I did a grand total of $170. And that's only because I got lucky in the last couple hours and made about 50 bucks. If not for those last couple hours and those 50 bucks, I would have brought home like $10 for myself. So I didn't make a lot of money. It was long, it was slow, it was hard. Watched a lot of YouTube, fell asleep several times. It was a hard night. Now I'm gonna go to the car wash and hose the thing down. Well, maybe I'll have a look at it first and see how dirty it is. Because it's raining at the moment. Yeah, maybe I'll just have a look at the car and see what it looks like. 'Cause like I said, it's raining at the moment. Maybe it's not all that grungy. Although the roads have been greasy. It was really non-eventful. Uneventful, completely uneventful. I made a bit of grocery money, that's it. And not like I'm gonna take a lot of groceries home with $55 or $60. Yeah, I think I might as well hose it down anyway. Yeah, one more night to go this week. I'll be thrilled when it's over. Okay. At the airport at 5:16 in the morning. This may be my last one. And let this pedestrian get out of the way, and away we go. Okay, so what a night. It was slow, it was dead, it was one trip an hour before midnight. In fact, it was one trip an hour all night. And that stupid thing makes a lot of noise. Wipers. Yeah. And then it was hurting. I was like $15 away from my lease at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I got a call to go get somebody. And suddenly, as soon as I'd answered that call and I was on my way out of the parking lot, I got another call on my phone, and this was the hooker. The hooker who I had earlier on in the week, who saved my night already once this week. She called me and wanted me to pick her up and take her to visit a John. On the way, she wanted to stop at a donut shop that had a drive-through. But the donut shop was farther away than her client. So we went to the donut shop first, and then we went to the client. And you know, it's funny the way luck works, but luck works in such a way that you do something a little different from your usual routine, and it seems to set up a series of events that just somehow work differently and work completely it's luck, you know. Just to illustrate, back many years ago, my father was going to get his lottery tickets. Now, I don't play the lottery, but he did. And he had this intricate, arcane calculation that he would do to choose his numbers. And he would go in and he'd do his calculations and he'd choose his numbers. And, you know, he'd pay for his numbers and that was it. And he would leave. But one time, he went and paid for his numbers, and he was given some change. The change was a $5 bill, and the $5 bill was so ugly and soiled looking, it looked like somebody had puked on it or something. And he didn't want to put this back in his wallet. So he said to the clerk, "Can you give me those two remaining 50-cent tickets?" So there were 50-cent tickets, and there were two of them left for the next drawing. And so he paid with that ugly $5 bill for those two mini tickets, and one of those 50-cent tickets won $50,000. That's how luck worked. Had he received a crisp, nice $5 bill in change, he would have put that in his wallet and walked out of the place. Instead, he got an ugly one, and yeah, one of those mini tickets was the winner. Well, the same thing happened to me, not in that I got a ticket or won any money or anything. Well, in a way I kind of did, but nothing like $50,000. I dropped the hooker off where she was going, and then I figured, where should I go next to wait for her, because she's going to call me again. I know she's going to call me again. So we were right near the casino. So I went to the casino, and I thought I'd sit in front of the casino waiting for my call. Waiting to pick up the call girl to go back. Well, the car that was in front of me, somebody got in it and they drove away. And I was sitting there minding my own business, and then this casino guy comes out and he gives me a voucher to take someone home. This was a little woman who spoke English but with a thick Asian accent. Turns out she was from Thailand, and she was complaining about her husband and that she's getting a divorce and that she's got to sell the house, and as soon as the house sells, she's getting a divorce. And she was complaining about him and bitching about him, and everything about him was, you know, terrible, terrible. But she seemed to like me. Turns out I have a date on Saturday night. That's how luck works. And they say, you know, Asian women are much more loyal and much more caring than the girls we have around here. So who knows? Who knows? We'll see. One of my friends who died a few months ago had a wife from the Philippines. And he was telling me how good she is. And that girls from around here are not like that. So it's going to be interesting. I'm ready for a new adventure. I hope yours is better than mine.